This is Nageshwar Rao, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College, Chintalapudi. In this presentation, we will discuss about boundary conditions at the dielectric surface. So, what are boundary conditions? The rules governing the behavior of intensity of electric field E and electric displacement, that is also called displacement vector D, at the boundary condition between two dielectrics are known as boundary conditions. So, there are two boundary conditions we have. So, to explain that, the relation between the displacements and the relation between intensity of electric field components using this diagram. So, this is the cylindrical surface we are seeing here, that is the combination of two dielectrics. AB is the boundary which separates the two dielectrics. This is the first dielectric, this is the second dielectric. It is divided by the AB is the boundary, and there is two displacements. D1 is in the medium 1 and D2 is the displacement in medium 2. At this, it makes an angle theta 1 and theta 2 with the normal drawn to the surface boundary, so that the displacement and intensity of electric field can be resolved into two components. One is normal component and second one is tangential component, where d1n and d1t are displacement normal component and tangential components. E1t and E2t, or D1t, D2t are tangential components of displacements. At such condition, the first boundary condition can be says that the normal component of electrical displacement D is same on both sides of the boundary of two media of different dielectrics. So, normal components is nothing but here is D1n is normal component of displacement D1 in the medium 1, and D2 is the displacement in the second medium, that is normal vector or normal component. So, such that D1n is equal to D2n is the first boundary condition. This also can say in secondary form as the normal components of displacement vector is continuous across the charge free boundary between the two dielectric. Displacement vector is continuous. Continuous is nothing but is same, that is constant. At a charge free boundary is nothing but there is no charge, that is charge density sigma is equal to 0. So that d1n is equal to d2n, that is the first boundary condition. The second boundary condition is belongs to intensity of electric field, that is capital E. The second boundary condition states that the tangential components of the intensity of electric fields are the same on both sides of the dielectrics. So tangential components, so that is maybe written as E1t, that is a tangential component of intensity of electric field E1 in dielectric 1, and D2t, that is E2t, that is the intensity of electric field tangential component in dielectric 2. So that E1t is equal to E2t. This gives the second boundary condition. How can we prove these two boundary conditions? So see in this diagram, AB is the boundary line. AB is the boundary line which divide the two dielectrics having permittivities E1 and epsilon 1 and epsilon 2. Those are two are permittivities. These media are assumed to be homogeneous and isotropic. What is homogeneous medium? Homogeneous medium is nothing but the properties are same at every point in a media. Such medium is called homogeneous medium. Isotropic medium is nothing but the physical properties are same in all directions is called isotropic medium. So here we will assume that homogeneous medium and isotropic medium are separated by the boundary AB, and So D2 and D1 are the displacements into two dielectrics. Suppose and D1 and D2 be the electric induction vectors in the media on either side of the dielectrics. So D1 and D2 are vectors which are making angles theta 1 and theta 2 with normal drawn to the boundary. So that let us construct a pillbox shaped surface which intersects the boundary with its end faces parallel to it to prove the first boundary condition. And let us assume height h of the pillbox is very small in comparison with the area of cross section of the pillbox to prove this first boundary condition. We know according to the Gauss theorem, integration E dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. And also displacement d is equal to epsilon naught e. So that the Gauss theorem can be written as integration d dot ds is equal to q, where d is equal to epsilon naught e. So that the Gauss theorem converted into as integrated form as integration d dot ds is equal to q. So where d1n is the average normal component of displacement vector d1, this is normal component, this is tangential component because it makes an angle theta 1. We know d1n is equal to d1 cos theta 1 and d1t is equal to d1 sin theta 1. These are the normal component and tangential components of vector d1 in medium 1. Similarly, d2n and d2t are normal components and tangential components of displacement vector d2 in medium 2. The d2n is equal to d2 cos theta 2 and d2n is t is equal to d2 sin theta 2. So according to this diagram, we know that is according to the Gauss law, integration d dot ds is equal to q, and from the Gauss law, d1n ds minus d2n ds is equal to q. Because the height of the pillbox is very small in comparison with the diameter or area of cross section of the pillbox, so the height components are very small, can be neglected. So that by integrating, that is d1n minus d1ns minus d2n ds is equal to q. So from this, where q is the total charge enclosed by the surface. So we know that from this diagram d1n minus d2n is equal to q by sigma s. We know q by sigma is nothing but charge per unit area, that is equal to surface charge density. So that d1n minus d2n is equal to sigma. If sigma is equal to 0, that is nothing but charge free boundary. Charge free boundary is nothing but the surface charge density. If it is sigma is equal to 0, d1n minus d2n is equal to 0. That is d1n is equal to d2n. It is nothing but two normal components of displacement vectors are equal. This is the first boundary condition. So the normal component of displacement vector is continuous across the charge free boundary between two dielectrics. So what is second boundary condition? Already I told you the second boundary condition is relating to tangential components of the intensity of electric field at both media. It means the tangential components of the intensity of electric field are same on both sides of the dielectric, separated by the boundary. So where we have to take PQRS is a rectangular shape, and this is AB is a boundary line separated the two medium. this is the medium 1, this is the medium 2, separated by this AB boundary, where E1n and E2n are intensity of electric fields into two boundaries, and they are making angles theta 1 and theta 2 with the normal drawn to the boundary. You see once again here, this is the boundary, this is the normal drawn to this E1n and E2n. E1 and E2 are intensity of electric fields. Then E1 and E2 making angles theta 1 and theta 2 with the normal, so that the vector can be resolved into two components. That is, component of E1 is normal component is E1n, actually that is equal to E1 cos theta 1, and this is tangential component, that is E1t, that is equal to E1 sin theta 1. Similarly, this is normal component of E2 is E2n, that is equal to E2 cos theta 2, and this is tangential component is E2t, that is E2 sin theta 2. So when we see here, that is E1t and E2t and E1n and E2n are different components. Now, when the work done on taking a unit charge around the rectangle PQRS must be 0, because the work done from P2, again it is completely one circle, the displacement ds is 0, so that dl, the displacement dl is 0, so the displacement 0 is nothing but work done on positive charge is 0, that is work done W is equal to F dot S. F is equal to S is equal to 0 is nothing but work is 0, so that the work done in unit positive charge around the rectangle PQRS must vanish, so that integration E dot dl is 0, where E is the intensity of electric field. This is equal to force exerted on unit positive charge, and dl is the displacement, so that the total work done is 0. So when we have to take this total integration line integral, that is ds, this is L or dl, this is taken as db width. In this case, the width of the rectangle PQRS is very small in comparison with the length, so dl is much greater than db. So the component along the width is very small. So by taking line integral E1 sin theta 1, that is along this direction, into dl plus, this is very small, that is 0, plus this is dl into E2 sin theta 2 along this direction. Those are two in opposite direction, so it is taken as minus, and along this direction the width is 0, the very small can be neglected. So the total work done E1 sin theta 1 dl minus E2 sin theta 2 dl is 0. But we know tangential components are E1t is equal to E1 sin theta 1, and this tangential component ut2 is equal to E2 sin theta 2. When substitute these values into this above equation, E1t is equal to E2t. So the tangential components of intensity of electric field at the boundary between two dielectrics is same. This is called second boundary condition. Thank you.